I don't feel like the clouds are all that together.
Hello. Sorry, I'm already being
Hello.
inconsistent with my audio. I need to sit still. Hi, sister friend. How are you? Welcome to season two.
Hello. I think we should just like not address the fact that we took a quick little 6 month hiatus and just get right into it.
I feel like we should at least talk about what happened in our lives.
Okay, yeah. It's crazy that we dropped an episode and we're like, Zoe's getting married, and then we never recorded again. Um, so I got married. We had harvest season, and then we were done with that. And then I started cheerleading season, and I like simply was busy every single weekend and evening night. And I also started taking a green merchandising classes 2 nights a week. And so simply there was not a single time to record.
Zoe's actually the busiest person on planet Earth. There's not 1 minute where she's like can sit.
Oh no, last night I sat on the couch for like 4 hours and then I just like doom spiraled the fact that I wasn't doing anything. But
Okay.
I think I've officially reached the point where I'm just like completely burnt out on anything and everything. So I simply need to get a grip in some way.
Okay. I'm trying to think if it's better. Mm, now we both are cool toned.
Yeah, that's maybe be better.
Okay.
So how
Um,
about you?
So when did you get married? August? Um, Literally nothing in my life has changed since then. Um, it's the exact same person.
That's not
I have the
true. You
same,
got a
I did,
raise.
I got a
You got a
promotion,
new
but I'm
job
still doing like the
title.
same job. I'm at the same place. Um, and also we did address so we're gonna put this on your channel instead of our sister friend channel because that's a flop channel. It wasn't
It's
flop.
not a flop. It's just like it's I've already been able to monetize the Farm with Zoe site. So like I'm sure we're gonna get a whole bunch of random people during these first couple of minutes that are like literally who are these people and why are they talking?
Yeah. So
Because there's no
that's what I'm saying. I
context.
think we need to address. Oh, I heard Dad cough. We need to address um, our flop era, which was Sister Friends season one. And if you're a loyal listener from season one and you found our way to season two, hi, welcome back. And if you're new, hello, I'm Pansy.
Our loyal like 4 listeners were all like, "Hey, when are you guys coming back?"
That's
So
so
there
true.
are a few stands and fans, and I appreciate them all very much.
I know, me too. But anyway, since August, yeah, I still have the same job. I live in New York. It's really cold here, and yeah, that's the only thing that's changed. I'm in the same apartment. I was thinking about what we talked about last year at this time, and I was like getting ready to move and stuff. I don't have anything exciting like that on the radar.
Yeah, I don't know. We're in like just the dead of winter part of the season where like everything's cold. All I have to do is haul, but I can't haul anything because it's like snowing out, and like all I have to do is book work. But yeah, I feel like I have 75 things I need to get done before spring.
Zoe's renovated her bathroom 3 times in the
I
last
I have
year.
not I have not participated in the bathroom renovation, but we do have a bathtub now. We do not have a shower yet. So yeah, showering at the shop has been annoying. Just because it's freezing and obviously that's like just like a little tiny shower stall. Not ideal, not amazing, but
Okay, so let's
the
recap.
end is
How
near.
was Harvest? Harvest 2024.
Yes, we had a record corn crop. Our soybeans were average because we had an higher than average corn crop. I sold a whole bunch of corn at like a really crappy low price and kind of trying to fight my way back from that. But it's okay. I'm like, I just need to move on to next year with the pricing of things. Just mark this year as a flop.
Hence the marketing class.
Yeah, hence the marketing class. Unfortunately, what I've learned in that class is that there's no magic tool that will just get you better prices, but learning a few tips and tricks there. But yeah, harvest was good. But due to kind of like low prices and stuff, I've been looking into how I can make uh, my cost of production cheaper. So I decided to purchase a drone. So I'm like 70% of the way through all the hoops you need to jump through to legally be able to spray crops with a drone. And that's just been its own little nightmare of it's just there's so many things you have to get done and you have to do things in a very specific order that I'm like finding out as I go.
Drone
And I
life.
need to,
Now, when you're
yeah.
flying the drone, spraying, are you like outside on like a remote control?
Yes, so we'll be on some sort of trailer situation. So you have to have eyes on the drone at all times. So if you're spraying in corn, corn can be like 10 foot tall. So if I'm just standing on the ground, that's not going to give me the vision. So we need to come up with a trailer situation where we can have a good line of sight. But yeah, you're just sitting there and you have the drone fly off and then it goes on kind of like an automated path
Oh.
while it's spraying. And then during that time, you're charging the other batteries and then it flies back. You put more product into it and it flies off again. So we're only going to be spraying fungicide with this drone because it would make no sense to spray like chemicals with it. It would just like take 45 years to get all the spraying done. Just because you can only spray about like 5 acres on a fill. So like on a good day, they claim that you could spray like 200 acres. So um, obviously it's not super functional for like a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
but when I was comparing the price of hiring out fungicide application versus doing it ourselves, I was thinking the drone would pay for itself in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now with all of these random things that keep popping up that you have to pay a lot of money for, that seems like that's not an accurate number
Yeah.
anymore. I'm looking at 3 to 4 years. Haven't figured out the trailer situation yet, so they'll probably add another
And in
year
fees,
into
man.
the return. Oh my goodness, God. Well, it's like
Just
you
left, right,
can't
and
use
center.
your normal insurance. You get new insurance. You have to get like all these exams, and then all the exams, of course, are not
And is that just all
free.
because like drones are so new, do you think?
Yeah,
People are
and
just
so
like
like
trying to cover their
yeah, and you
bases?
you don't want like just any random person like taking a drone and then accidentally flying it like into a plane. Like there's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
there needs to be some oversight, but like the thing I'm working on right now is that I can't get my class 3 medical certificate because I am on medication for ADHD, which like automatically rules you out of being a pilot without if you don't have a neurological evaluation. And
Mm.
so my doctor, who like I went to get my this evaluation for, which I thought was going to be like a quick $200, and I was going
Yeah.
to be on my way because I'm
Like when you got
healthy as a
physicals in high
horse.
school,
Yeah, it
where
was
like they
that, and
check your
then
rate, your heart rate, and you're like, yeah, you're good.
yeah, and so it was like everything was going great, and then they were like, "You're not like on any medication, right?" And I'm like, "Well, just this," but like, don't worry, it's like prescribed to me legally from a doctor, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're screwed, lady." So they were like, "There's a handful of places you can go to get these tests done. If you go, the cheapest option is to go to Fort Wayne, Indiana, to someone that they know that charges two thousand
Oh
dollars."
my goodness.
And they're like, and there's a guy in Columbus who will do it, but he always fails people on different portions of the exam, so it'll end up costing you about $8,000. And so then I talked to a lawyer, and he was like, I can probably get you a exemption from having to have the medical thing. You just need to make sure it, it's a drone that's flying itself mostly autonomously, and you won't ever be able to fly at night. But like I'm sure
Yeah.
if I hired this lawyer to do these documents for me, that's also gonna cost me a pretty penny. So
Yeah.
it's just like stuff like that. The insurance is really expensive. You can only get it through like a few certain
Right, because
companies.
it's so new.
Um, yeah, so it's a
Wow.
lot, but oh well. It's been a learning experience.
Drone
Yeah,
life.
yeah. Drone life, yes. And I have a drone. I just don't have it physically in person yet. But
Mm.
I've purchased a drone.
You also celebrated your 30th birthday.
Yes, 30,
Three
and not thriving.
decades. Oh, stop. You're
No,
good.
no, I'm just
You're
tired.
you're
I'm
fine.
just I, yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I'm like my back feels like it's 45. So,
Well, that's not
um,
good.
well, no, I'm just saying like it's not like I woke up and I was like 30. I can't believe it. It feels right.
It feels right. You don't, do you feel younger than you thought you would feel at 30?
No, I just feel tired.
Okay, great.
I think that's mostly just due to like really overcommitting myself this winter. I've been like averaging probably like 70 hours a week with work, and like this is supposed to be the slow time of year. But I have one more uh what do you call them,
Speaking
panel.
engagements?
Yeah, I have a speaking engagement on Saturday in Iowa. And then I'm done traveling besides then like the week after, I'm gonna go to DC with Tanner, and then we're going to Cincinnati for a wedding, and then I'm going to Canada for a wedding, and then we're in the middle of planting. So that's cool.
Wow.
I can't remember if we like talked about Tanner needing to be in DC for
I
work.
don't think we did. Maybe
Okay,
we
so
did. I don't know.
yeah, so originally when we signed a lease on
Zoe
an
owns
apartment,
two homes. I'm just kidding.
I don't own any homes. I'm
Zoe
not even
owns
sure if
zero homes. Zoe has two places of residence.
I have two places of
Rich.
residence. I've only been to my one place of residence once. I originally so we got married in August. September, Tanner had to return to
So
office,
you're
which is
gonna
in Washington.
like ruin your eyeball in front of me.
Oh yeah,
It's about to just
I
like
went
roll out onto the screen.
I went to the eye doctor at 8 a.m. I'm on a prescription. My eyelids
Oh
all
my God.
swollen. Uh, am I a mess? So
Here's
anyway,
75
uh,
reasons why we shouldn't restart the podcast.
clicks in now, pretends like it never happened. No, so he needed to return to office 3 days a week in DC. So we signed an apartment lease, and then they were like, "Hey, just kidding, you have to be here 5 days a week." And Tanner was like, "That feels different." Um, so, but like it's just times are tough in the industry that he's in. And he was kind of hoping to just kind of stick it out, and then hopefully they would change the rules back, because
Hmm.
like for him, the people that are on his team, not a single one is in his office. So he is living in DC to get on Zoom calls with people in other
That's so
countries.
frustrating.
um, so that's a little bit of insanity for you. Um, but I had said like I'll try to go once a month like with him, and then I'll just because I have a lot of work I can do remotely. And that just like simply hasn't happened just because I just keep getting booked and busy, and I don't know how to say no to things. But I did say no to a conference like 2 weeks from now, so
But
that was
luckily,
good of
my
me.
boyfriend lives in DC and like they're pals. So
Yeah,
that's like the one positive of this whole thing. It's
yeah,
like
is
they
that
get to hang
they
out
get to hang out.
sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we're home alone. But you might be moving to DC soon. You want to
Stop.
talk
I
about that?
don't want to move to DC. Similarly, yeah, in the world of Big Law, they are kind of getting strict about work from home policies, which so that's a whole other thing. But like where I work at the Met, we're still hybrid, and I like seriously cherish my two work from home days. And that's like something Zoe obviously can't relate to. You're constantly always working at home, and you're also never at home. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and but like for you, if they said like you need to come in, like you already live in that town.
yes, no, I know. Which, yeah, thank goodness, because that would be very hard. But like just
And
not
like
having to
in
pick out an
Tanner, yeah.
outfit and not having to put on makeup, game changer. Like the 2 days, like I'm working from home. I'm in like loungewear. I'm in my pajamas. I look like an insane person. And like I need that to survive. I cannot, I know there for generations people worked on site 5 days a week. Like every person tells me that. Like I know that. I know that. But I want my work from home days. I started working in like the real true workforce in 2021. So I've always been like a COVID employee. And so I've never really worked like a real job 5 days in the office.
Okay, except for when you were in college and you had all those internships that you worked out for free for,
Yeah, I
and
know,
you were
but those
driving
were
all
like
around
those
the
were like
nation.
3 days a week. Well, that's not okay, that's true. I worked on a campaign and I was simply driving all over Ohio for literally no money. That's something I can't get on my soapbox about unpaid internships, but I could because they're criminal, like legitimately breaking labor laws. But I
Uh,
digress.
nobody wants to work these days for free.
No, we should like always pay
Uh,
people. I'm like, even like we have all these amazing, wonderful volunteers, and I truly believe we can't do the work we do without them. But then there's the other part of me that's like, we need to pay everybody for the labor that they're doing.
right. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
weird dynamic.
Hmm.
Anyways, Let's see. So that's what else has happened? Should we give context to the people that maybe are new here? I'm Zoe's little sister. I was just,
Two, 20 minutes into the
yeah, if
episode.
you're still here, hi. Um, I did a video with Zoe like a month ago where I showed
Yeah.
my day versus Zoe's day. And so you already know that we live very
Yeah.
different lives. Although we had pretty similar childhoods. We were both like in the same sports, in the same clubs. We did FFA, 4-H. I did junior fair board because I'm an overachiever. Um,
Yeah. Kinsey took hogs to the
I
fair for some
did.
odd
I
reason.
still love pigs. And then I took dairy beef for a minute as well. And Zoe did dairy beef the whole time, and she never named her cows anything but Ben and Jerry. So
And I stand by that
I'm the
decision.
creative sister.
No, I like to leave a legacy, you know.
And we knew pretty early on
Uh,
Zoe wanted to stay in agriculture, and I knew pretty early on that I did not.
yeah. Well, ironically, you wanted to go to a job where you had to be dressed up and look nice.
I did. That's
And
like literally.
apparently you only wanted to do that 3 days a
No,
week.
I like knew it from a young age that I was like, I want a desk. I want a cubicle. I want to clock in, and I want to work for the man. Um,
Uh, well, it's just also another thing is that I'm constantly trying to get Kinsey to come work for me. I'm trying to get her to give up her big city dreams, come back down to reality, live in our little
teeny tiny
helpless town,
town.
sad little town where only people leave. Um, but she hasn't come back yet. But
The
I'm not able to meet
the
her
price
rates.
hasn't been high enough. You pay me
Yeah.
what I want, I'll move home.
Yeah,
Um,
if corn goes to $7 and you see Kinsey at home more often, you'll know what happened.
uh, yeah, I just knew that I didn't want to work outside. I have like pretty bad allergy, and I hate being too hot or too cold, and it's always one of the other. Like I've never had a comfortable day outside. Um, and so yeah, I don't know. And also just like watching the physical labor on my dad, I was like, that's so not for me.
Yeah,
Love
and I'm
that.
not.
I love the ag industry, support it. I have, strong ties to it. Not for me.
Yeah, probably.
In the
Yeah.
same way that I don't
Um,
think Zoe could sit and do my job every day. Like, I don't think you could sit and send 75 emails.
oh my goodness, no. Sending an email is my least favorite activity in the world. I don't know what it even is. It's a it's just a little bit worse than having to respond to a text message. Like it always is just like, oh, that's something I have to do. I can't spell anything. I never want to come off as rude. I'm like overthinking everything that I say. Like I don't know what it is, but I hate an email.
So it's like
I
that's like my main form of communication. I actually am like I do not like talking on the phone. One of my least favorite parts of my job is I order staff dinner, and the pizza place we go to, I can't order it online, so I have to like call them. And I love this guy. It's like a father-son business. They're like close to my apartment, so I know these people, and they love us and they love me, and it's always a nice conversation. Terrifying calling them every time. That's my least favorite part of my whole job.
Yeah, I do better in person than telephone calls, probably. But
I
yeah, I don't
also
know.
hate in
Something
person.
like
Just like
for me,
scared.
if I have to make a phone call, like if I'm so frustrated with something and I know it's going to take me 4 emails to get to an answer, I will just call because at that point, the idea of having to spend so much time emailing and waiting for emails and refreshing my emails, like that's just horrible. Um, so I will make a call if I need to, but
And now you're like a public
I don't know.
speaker. That's the funny thing about Zoe's career path. It's like she was a farmer and now she's like a social icon.
I don't know
She's
about
shaping the
that.
minds of the youth of America.
That's a really scary thought.
She's
Yeah, no,
influencing children to become social media stars.
that's not the goal.
She's like rubbing her eyes so much.
Uh, it's not a sty. It could turn into a sty, is what my person
I've
said.
never had a
But
sty. I've had every other bodily issue though, so like I don't need a sty.
Yeah, the good thing is it's not pink eye because like my eye feels fantastic. It's just like the lid is swollen to a concerning degree.
Hate
But
that.
that was a phone call I made. I made that phone call at 8 a.m. and I was like, help me out. Because also I was like, I don't know if you call a doctor or a eye doctor. And so I called the eye doctor and they're like, yes, we are the people to call. And they worked me in within 15 minutes of me calling. They were like, hey, come up here can you get here by this time? And I was like, yes, I
And
will.
that's small
And then
town living.
yeah, and then the roads were treacherous,
We haven't had a single
treacherous.
snowflake here. It's just cold.
Oh, we probably have like 2 foot of snow, and then in the I don't know it's drifting. We have the wind drifts. What do you call that?
No.
The snow drifts. Snow drifts. We have tall snow drifts.
What's your favorite
Um,
part and least favorite part about growing up in a small town?
um, favorite part.
And continuing to
um,
live in that same small town as an adult.
you're gonna have to come back to me on this one. Do you have an answer?
No. I mean, like I do as
I don't like hate our town. It's just like
I appreciate that like we went to the same dentist and like the same eye doctor.
oh
Like it's
yeah.
like you have like one person for one thing, and I really appreciate that.
Well,
Like
that is how everyone is. Everyone goes to a dentist for dental
well,
things and an
no,
eye
so like in
doctor for.
my dentist, it's a different dentist every time.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but in Sisterfriends, we are always talking about our dental work. Um, it's the through thread of season one to season two, still dealing with the dentist. But so I go to like this place that's like definitely of the Gen Z. Like you like do it all on your app and your phone and like whatever. So it's like this huge network. And so like every time I go, my dentist is somebody different. And like I can appreciate now that like the grocery store checkout person was always the same person. And like everyone in the town went to like the same doctor. And like
Yeah, I do like
there's
that, and I
something
do
like
like when
fun
our
about that.
yeah, yeah, and like our dentist like took pulled on our teeth like when we were at church because he like also went to our church, and so
Yeah.
like if you had a loose tooth, you just like walk up to him and like look
Yeah.
at this. Yeah, no, that was nice. And too like even at our basketball games, like our girls will be like, "Oh, this hurts or that hurts." Like, there's a doctor who's like kids on the
It's like
team, and
the
who's
doctor,
like,
the town doctor
yeah,
is there.
yeah, who I can't get in with, because he's not accepting new patients, so I have to go out of town.
But like
And
there's something
no,
fun and like
no, knowing
storybooky about
him on
it.
a personal level does not get you in. So I respect that from like having rules and morals or whatever. But I can't get into our doctor because we didn't go to that doctor's children.
Yeah. I don't know, but also that's like definitely a negative. Like it I don't love that like every time you go to the grocery store, you like see your third grade teacher and like your I don't know, someone from your church and
Yeah.
like you look like you're in pajamas, you know, and like there's like that's also the same downside.
And it's amazing how, like, on the days that you're specifically like, I really hope I don't run into anyone. That's when you run into everyone
Always.
you've ever met. Yeah.
And also there's like no museum, so like I couldn't work there. So like that. I mean, there is one historical home, I guess, but
That Kenzie's a legacy of.
I would love
Yeah.
to work there. Honestly,
Yeah.
I could do
It's
that.
it's your birthright. You're the
Yeah,
heir to the
you might
throne
not have
of our
known
town.
this, but like our great 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 uncle founded the town next to the town we grew up in. Not even the town that we live in, the
Oh,
town next to it.
technicality. I live in the town that he helped found
That's true.
many a many a generation ago. Which just really means that we never left. A lot of us have left, but not I.
Not Zoe.
Um, yeah, and our brother's leaving. He's moving to, well, he left
Uh,
Ohio a long time ago,
Yeah.
but he's moving again to Iowa.
Yeah. Iowa. A place I've never been. Have you been to
Iowa.
Iowa?
Oh, I'm going tomorrow.
I know, but have you been there before?
Yeah, yeah, no, I went this summer for a John Deere thing.
Does it give Ohio
So
vibes?
1,000%. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the exact same.
So I know about Virginia. We were at someone's home this summer in Virginia. And like once you get like outside of DC, I'm like, oh, this is Ohio. Turns out every
Yeah,
place it's the same.
everywhere's Ohio. No, like Phoenix, like Arizona is like a fully different
Yeah, and more like New
climate.
Orleans is definitely like very different.
Yeah,
But
very humid.
oh,
But yeah,
good
everything is
old
Ohio.
times. It is interesting. It's like none of my friends I have now are obviously like from a rural area. And so we have like very
I thought,
different
I thought, I
childhood
don't know.
memories.
I thought many of your friends came from
So like Eleanor grew up in Indiana, but like
like in a suburb.
in yeah, that place that Mayor Pete's from. What's that place called? South Bend. So like it's like she like wasn't on a farm, so like growing up like around livestock and stuff. And like my friend Kristen grew up born and raised in Queens, and like her high school didn't have any sports teams. So she's like never been to a football game,
That's
like
wild.
ever. And I asked her, I was like, "Were you on any teams as a kid? Like, did you play tennis or something?" And she's like, "I had gym class." And I'm like, "Not what I meant."
Yeah. But did they have like clubs and activities?
Yeah, I
What did
imagine
they
they
do
had
with their
clubs. I
evenings?
don't know. I mean, she just like took the subway and like probably went to Soho. Like she like is like very different.
Yeah.
But also like not that different. Like obviously we
Yeah.
all
Do
well, we
you,
all like watch the same TV shows and like, that kind of
mhm.
stuff is the same.
When you take the subway, do you see like high schoolers on the subway alone,
Yeah, my bus in the
just hanging
morning,
out?
I live in a neighborhood that's predominantly families and then like older people. And so I take the bus because I'm lazy. I don't like walking to work. And it's just children on their way to school. Like we all take the same bus. Um, and I live up close to a lot of schools, so I just like see them. And what's crazy is like we were never allowed to like leave school for lunch. I think most
Hmm.
schools, like a lot of schools, you can, like even like in rural areas, you can, but we never did. And so like when I go to like I don't know Chick-fil-A or like Starbucks in the middle of the day, and it's just like all high schoolers. I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
that is
weird.
wild. Yeah, I think even Tanner was allowed to leave school in the middle of the day when he had
Well, I
lunch.
think even the high school next to us like allowed their like juniors and seniors to leave for lunch. But not us. Did you pack lunch all of high school?
Yes, and this is why. Um, I started packing lunch, and so then I never understood how to put money into your account.
Yeah.
And then you also had like a little pin thing slash
Hmm.
maybe like a thumbprint. And as a anxious and scared person, I didn't know how to do that because like I didn't have to like learn it on the first day or whatever because I just packed my lunch and I was just like willfully ignorant. And then I just kept going to school and being like, man, I would love to buy some Doritos right now, but I didn't know how and I was too
Oh,
scared. And then I just never
Zoe.
did.
I pretty much bought lunch every day. By the time I was in high school, we had like good options. Like it really evolved. Um, and
For
yeah,
like
we
an
had we
entire,
had a fingerprint. Like that's how you paid was like with a fingerprint. So high tech of our little dinky
yeah,
little. We didn't have air conditioning, but we paid for lunch with our finger.
yeah. So when I was in junior high, that's like when you went over to like the high school and the high school and junior high were all together, except the junior high was just some trailers in the back. Um, but we had lunch money and it was like you physically brought in like dollars and quarters and stuff. And I could remember like stacking up my like change in different quantities so I would know how much I had or whatever. And then um, so I liked that. Like I understood how money worked, but then when they transferred over to the thumbs, I was like, I don't know,
I
I don't know how my
remember
thumb works.
I
I don't
remember
know.
when you guys were getting lunch money and you guys both got $3 a day. Crazy to think that $3 got you lunch. Like I can't buy lunch for less
Yeah.
than 12 to
Well,
$15 every
and
day.
like I know kids that would like get like $3 or $4 and then they would save $1. Like they would like
Yeah.
purposely eat less so that then they could like be making some money on the side to save up for like a Gatorade or something at the end of the week. Um, but yeah, wild times. No, I so like coaching at this school now, I can't remember what the amount is, but it's a crazy amount of money that like these parents have to pay for the school lunches, and then they're like the kids don't love them.
Yeah.
Um, they're not
Inflation, man. That's
amazing.
like what we're not talking about enough. Is like how much school lunches has gone up. I'm
Oh my
sure
gosh,
like
yeah.
there
Oh,
I'm sure actually a lot of people are talking about that. We just like don't have kids in school, but
yeah. No, what we really need to be talking about is the kids now when they take their driver's test, they use their backup cameras in their vehicles, and it's like they're supposed to.
wow.
It's the rules. Like,
Wow.
can you imagine
No.
having a backup camera while taking your test?
No. I do remember so I took the test in our mom's BMW, fancy, and
Whoa.
there's no backup camera or anything like that. But what happens is when you put the car in reverse, the mirrors tilt down, and so you can see your back tires better. And I remember like practicing it in the driveway, and mom was like, "Don't look at those mirrors, that's cheating." And I was like, "Mom, the car literally moves the mirrors." Like, she's like,
What would she want you to do? Just back up based off of vibes
"No, I mean,
and a prayer?
I think she was just trying to be like, hey, in your car, your mirrors don't move, so you shouldn't be used to your mirrors moving." But also, like, I've never once in my life parallel parked, so like,
You're telling me, like, how many years ago did you get your license? 10 years ago?
yeah.
You're telling me that mom had a car that had moved. My truck still doesn't do that.
Hey, my 2007 Jeep
That's
Wrangler
wild.
still rocking that thing. Um,
Yeah, yeah, because you drive it once a year.
yeah, that's something we don't talk about enough. I have my driver's license and I drive about 4 days a year. No, probably like 1 week a year to add up all the days.
Yeah, and it's oddly suspicious because sometimes she'll, like, if she doesn't have a ride and she's home, she'll just drive an hour away by herself, no problem. But then if I'm home and can drive her around, she's like, I can't drive. I've never driven
No,
before. I
I
haven't driven in
can't.
years.
I can
And so
drive. I'm not worried about driving. It's parking
she,
that really
she picks
scares
and
me.
chooses when she wants to drive them. She doesn't want to drive, and she wields the I don't drive much to get her way
I do.
when she
I
wants
no,
to.
I just like hanging out with Zoe. No, parking is very scary. Like
Yeah, you like hanging out with
you
me and having
got
me drive you
so
around.
good at parallel parking in college because you drove a truck and you were in Columbus and you were able to like ski into little parking spots.
Not
I
anymore.
didn't have those formative years.
Those 4 years were not.
But are you seeing now in cars these days where wheels can completely go?
No, I've never seen that, but I've heard it allegedly.
Yeah, like apparently these wheels can turn 360, which means they can do 90, which means
So
that
you'd
you
literally
can
just drive
literally go
up and
like
you're just like, "Mm."
ski.
That's wild. And the cars will park for you. That's just,
Yes.
I just don't know where we're going as a country if we if we lose the ability to drive now.
What do you feel about self-driving cars? Like not like Tanner situation where like if you're in the front seat and you're looking ahead, it will drive by itself. I mean like you get in the back seat and the car just
Yeah.
drives you.
Is it
How do you
Wabo?
feel about that?
Well, we took them when we were in uh Arizona. So one of Tanner's best friends, him and his wife moved to Arizona, um, like 6 months ago, and we went to see them. What's it called? Wamo? I don't know. There's a company, and they only drove Jaguars, and
Jaguars.
Jaguars, and they have like all of these sensors all over the whole thing, but like they're all over the place, and so it's everyone just getting driven around by no one. And I don't know. I mean, it was cool, I guess, but also it was like I don't know. I guess like I knew this was a possibility. It's also odd.
Well,
I don't
as a
know.
person that doesn't have a car here, I'm constantly being driven around when I get in Ubers,
Hmm.
and I appreciate that.
Do you talk to your Uber drivers? Like, would you
Absolutely
like to be
not.
in would you like to be in a
I would like to
self-driverless
be in
car?
this.
Because
Well, actually, I have no. That's actually really scary to think about. I don't talk to my Uber drivers. I'm notoriously not friendly, and so I keep to
but you're not
myself.
rude. You
No,
just
but I'm not like the kind of person's like, so how long you been driving Uber? You know, like
mhm.
I'm like, hi, is this right car, right person?
Yeah. But where does our society go if like I'm already scared to talk on the phone, and then you can just live a life where you don't ever have to
I
communicate
the
with
thought of
anyone?
like getting on the FDR, which is the highway that runs along the east side of Manhattan, without someone in the front seat is like really scary.
No, for sure. That's
Like
fair.
things are always happening, an accident. I don't know how I would love the ability to like not have control over the car and be the only person in the car.
Yeah, but you see, there's so many people I see who are texting and driving that have that simply will pull up to an intersection and drive through it and will have never seen that you are also parked at the intersection because everyone's just like glued to their phones.
Yeah,
Like,
that's very
then I'm like,
scary.
I don't know, it might be more safe to have no one driving than a zombie who's not paying attention whatsoever.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. Yeah, mixed emotions, I guess.
And that's your take on self-driving cars.
Yeah,
And then
that's
that's
a
our
take I didn't know I
and
had.
that's our segment.
And there you go.
More technology that scares us. Not technology that excites.
Oh, what
Yeah.
technology is out there that excites you?
Girl, literally none. I don't have the kind of money for exciting new technology.
That's what when people ask me about that in farming, they're like, "There's all these cool things coming down the pike and blah blah blah." All these, I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome. I'll be able to afford it in maybe 20 years
Well,
if I
it's
don't
like,
go bankrupt
sure,
before
I'm
it."
sure VR sets are sick. I don't have 2 grand to throw at it. Like, I don't know. The
Yeah.
technology that's exciting me, my Switch. I love that thing. I play that every day. Um, yeah, I don't know. I love my Kindle. That's the technology that excites me.
Yeah.
Anyways, should we keep these episodes short and sweet? I feel like
Yeah, I
we're
feel
at
like we're on
36 minutes. You got what you needed to get out of this.
yeah, if you're still here, then wow. You must not have much going on. No. But we appreciate you and love you and thank you.
Yeah, so this is Sister Friends. Come back
Oh,
later.
we might be here next week. We might be here in 6 months. No one will ever know. Keep you on your toes. We're
Okay.
dropping 4 episodes tomorrow.
Ah, technology that excites.
That's the episode title. Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.